The holographic projection flickered to life aboard the bridge of the Stellar Defiance, casting an eerie blue glow across Captain Coraline Vex's sharp features. The alien ambassador before her, a tall, crystalline being from the Xantharian collective, radiated an air of superiority that would have made lesser species cower. "Captain Vex," the ambassador intoned, its voice reverberating through multiple frequencies, "you are hereby ordered to surrender your vessel and submit to Galactic Tribunal Section 4.7, Paragraph 293. Your unauthorized presence in the Helios sector constitutes a Class 3 violation of established galactic law." Coraline leaned back in her command chair, one eyebrow arched in amusement. Behind her, her first officer, Rathan Cross, suppressed a grin as he monitored the tactical display. He'd seen that look before. It never ended well for whoever was on the receiving end. "That's cute," Coraline replied, her voice dripping with mock sweetness. "We have our own laws, actually. And funny thing about those, they don't require permission from species who couldn't even leave their own solar system when my ancestors were already colonizing Mars. The Xantharians, crystalline form pulsed with an angry crimson hue. You dare mock the authority of the Galactic Council? Humanity was granted provisional membership only 3 solar cycles ago. You are infants in the cosmic order." Rathan stepped forward, his tactical officer's instincts kicking in. "Captain, we're detecting 6 Xantharian cruisers decloaking around us. They're forming an encirclement pattern." "How predictable," Coraline muttered. She stood straightening her uniform jacket. "Ambassador, let me explain something about humans that your Galactic Council clearly failed to mention in their briefings. We didn't ask for permission to join the stars, we took it. We didn't wait for some bureaucratic committee to tell us what was possible. We made it possible." The ambassador's form shifted, uncertainty creeping into its posture. "The galactic law has maintained peace for 10,000 of your years." "Peace?" Coraline interrupted, her voice sharp as a blade. "You mean the peace where the strong dictate terms to the weak? Where entire species are catalogued and filed away like library books? Where exploration is forbidden without a permit that takes decades to acquire?" She shook her head. "That's not peace, Ambassador. That's stagnation dressed up in fancy robes." Rathan's console beeped urgently. "Captain, they're charging weapons. I'm reading energy signatures consistent with plasma disruptors." "Hold position," Coraline ordered calmly. She turned back to the hologram. "Here's what's going to happen. We're going to continue our survey of this sector. We're going to map those uncharted planets. And if we find anyone out here who needs help, regardless of their standing with your precious council, we're going to help them." "Impossible!" the ambassador shrieked. "You are one ship against the might of the collective. We have conquered civilizations older than your entire evolutionary timeline." A dangerous smile played across Coraline's lips. "Rathan, show our guest what we found in the Kepler archive last month." Rathan's fingers danced across his console. Another hologram materialized, this one showing ancient star charts, battle formations, and species profiles. "These are Xantharian military records from your last enforcement action," he explained. Cross-referenced with human tactical analysis. "You know what we found interesting?" The ambassador said nothing, its crystalline body now pulsing with anxious yellow light. "You've never fought anyone who fought back," Coraline continued. "Your entire military doctrine is based on overwhelming technological superiority against pre-spaceflight civilizations. You've never faced an enemy with comparable technology, strategic thinking, or, and this is the important part, the sheer stubborn refusal to quit that defines humanity. You cannot threaten the collective." The ambassador protested, but its voice wavered. Coraline's expression hardened. "I'm not threatening anyone. I'm stating facts. You want to enforce your laws on us? Fine, but understand this. Humans don't lose because someone says they should. We've spent our entire history being told what we couldn't do, what was impossible, what was forbidden, and every single time we smiled, nodded, and then did it anyway." Rathan checked his scanners again. "Captain, the cruisers are holding position. I think they're waiting for orders." "Smart," Coraline acknowledged. She addressed the ambassador once more. "Here's my counter-proposal. You go back to your council and tell them that Earth recognizes galactic law where it makes sense, but we also reserve the right to operate under our own authority, our own ethics, and our own judgment. We'll cooperate with species who treat us as equals. We'll defend those who can't defend themselves. and we'll explore every corner of this galaxy that catches our interest. The Council will never accept such terms. Then the Council has a problem, Coraline said simply. Because we're not asking for permission. We're informing you of reality. You can work with us or you can try to stop us. But I promise you this, the attempt will cost you far more than you're willing to pay. The ambassador's form flickered with confused, chaotic colors. What makes you so certain of victory? Coraline glanced at Rathan, who gave her an encouraging nod. She turned back to the hologram with fierce determination in her eyes. Because throughout human history, we've faced extinction events, global wars, plagues, environmental collapse, and every other disaster you can imagine. And we're still here. We adapted. We survived. We thrived. That's not arrogance, Ambassador. That's track record. A long silence filled the bridge. Finally, the Xantharian ambassador spoke, its voice subdued. I will. Convey your position to the Council. You do that, Coraline replied. And, Ambassador? Tell them one more thing. Tell them that humanity didn't come to the stars to be controlled. We came to be free. And we'll die before we give that up. The hologram winked out. Moments later, Rathan reported, The cruisers are withdrawing, Captain. We're clear? Coraline settled back into her command chair, allowing herself a small smile. Set course for the Helios 7 system. We have planets to survey. Aye, Captain. Rathan responded, admiration clear in his voice. You know the Council might actually come after us now. Let them, Coraline said, staring out at the infinite stars stretching before them. Humanity didn't come this far by playing it safe. Log this in our report. First contact with Xantharian Collective, they made demands, we made a statement. Day's work. As the Stellar Defiance jumped to faster-than-light travel, leaving the bewildered Xantharian fleet behind, one truth became crystalline clear. The galaxy had just learned that humans wrote their own rules, and anyone who tried to rewrite them would discover exactly why Earth had survived every challenge thrown at it. The age of galactic law meeting human defiance had begun, and the cosmos would never be the same. End.